Welcome to episode 14, The Post Office. Before we dive in, a quick message. We've noticed that a surprisingly high number of you who listen regularly haven't subscribed yet. If you're enjoying the show and finding it helpful, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button. It ensures you won't miss a single episode on our fluency journey. I have to start with a story. A truly mortifying story that I think a lot of people can relate to. Last month, I had to mail a birthday present to my 7-year-old nephew. I was so proud of myself for being on time for once. I got the perfect box, packed it perfectly with layers of bubble wrap. You know, the kind with the big, satisfying bubbles to pop. I even bought one of those giant rolls of tape with the dispenser gun. You know, the industrial-sized ones? I thought, I am an adult. I am prepared. I am a shipping champion. I get to the post office, which is already an adventure. Wait in that eternally long line for 20 minutes. And when I finally get to the counter, feeling victorious, the clerk looks at my beautiful box, pokes the tape with his pen and says, "Ma'am, this is storage tape, not shipping tape. It will fall apart in the sorting machine. You have to retape the entire thing." The entire line behind me lets out a collective sigh.
Oh no, Erika. The tape trap. It's a classic, painful rite of passage. I'm Tony, your logistics coach, and I promise you, everyone has a story like that. But after today, you won't make those mistakes again. We're going to demystify every corner of the post office, from the tape to the tracking numbers. We're going to turn that public frustration into postal fluency.
Please! The worst part was having to buy their tiny, ridiculously overpriced roll of official packing tape, which, by the way, is a specific, heavy-duty tape with strong adhesive meant for shipping. And then do the walk of shame to that sad little side table. I had to peel off my pathetic storage tape and reseal the entire thing while a line of very impatient people stared daggers into my soul. So let's start there. Let's start at the absolute beginning, with the box and the tape itself.
Excellent. Segment 1, the vessel and the address. Before we even think about what goes inside, we have to talk about the container itself. You need a sturdy, corrugated cardboard box. Don't reuse an old box that's lost its rigidity, especially if you're shipping something heavy or fragile. And a quick vocabulary lesson. What you called bubble wrap is officially known as cushioning material. Its job is to absorb shock. And the tape you needed was packing tape or shipping tape, a pressure-sensitive tape designed to hold a box together through thick and thin. Now, let's talk about the single most important thing on that box, the addressing. This is the foundation. You have two crucial blocks of information. In the top left corner, you write the return address. That's you, your full name, your street address, your city, state, and zip code. Pro tip, always include this. If the package can't be delivered for any reason, wrong address, the person moved, this is its ticket home.
Okay, so that's my safety net. Got it.
That's a fantastic and critical question. Let's break these down because they trip a lot of people up. First, P.O. boxes. P.O. simply stands for post office. So a P.O. box is a locked mailbox you can rent at a post office. For the address, you just replace the street address lines with P.O. box followed by the box number. For example, John Smith, P.O. Box 12345, Anytown, USA 54321. It's clean and simple. The sorting machines recognize that format instantly. Exactly. Now, military addresses. These look more complex, but they follow a strict logic. The acronyms you mentioned, APO and FPO, are key.
APO stands for Army Post Office and is used for Army and Air Force installations. FPO means Fleet Post Office, and it's for the Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard. Think of these as the city for the address.
Okay, so APO or FPO is the city. What about the state? My cousin is in Germany, but the address says AP.
That's the most important part to get right. AP stands for Armed Forces Pacific. You'll also see AE for Armed Forces Europe and AA for Armed Forces Americas. You must use these two-letter codes as the state. Do not write Germany or Japan on the package. The mail is routed through a domestic military mail hub in the U.S., and from there, the military handles getting it to the specific base. Writing a foreign country will confuse the domestic sorting machines and can cause massive delays.
So the final address will look something like this: PFC John Doe, Unit 2340, Box 111, APO AE 09012. It's treated like a domestic address, which is amazing when you think about it.
Parcel. Okay, that's one of those words they use that I just nod along to. What about those padded envelopes? I always use those for sending books.
That's a bubble mailer, an excellent choice for items that are not super fragile but need a bit of protection. A box is for anything that's breakable, oddly shaped, or heavy. The key is to make sure the item doesn't move around inside. Use packing paper or bubble wrap to fill any empty space. An item shifting in transit is how things get damaged.
This is already so helpful. So my box is secure, not rattling, and addressed perfectly. I get to the counter, avoid the tape trap, and they ask me the question that always stumps me.
Which brings us perfectly to segment 2, the golden question and the clock. The clerk will ask something like, "How would you like to send this?" What they're really asking you is to balance two things, speed and cost. You have a menu of options, and it's actually pretty simple when you break it down. But just as important as the how is the when. Time is a huge factor in shipping.
Let's demystify that. When you hear 2 to 8 business days, it's important to know that business days are typically Monday through Friday. Saturdays, Sundays, and federal holidays don't count in that delivery window. So if you mail a package on a Friday, the clock doesn't really start ticking until Monday.
Okay, that's a really important distinction. So if I mail a package using 2 to 3 business day priority mail on a Saturday, when would it actually arrive? Since Saturday isn't a business day, does the clock not start until Monday?
That's a fantastic practical question. If you send a priority mail package on a Saturday, the clock doesn't really start until Monday. Saturday is a bit of a hybrid day. Packages are processed and moved, but it's not a full business day. So a 2 to 3 business day delivery would likely see your package arriving on Wednesday or Thursday of the following week. Always factor in the weekend and any public holidays.
It never feels simple. I just stare blankly and usually say, what's the normal way?
Let's give you better words. Think of it as 3 tiers. Tier 1 is standard or ground shipping. This is the slowest and cheapest option. It can take anywhere from 2 to 8 business days. This is perfect if you're not in a hurry. If you walk up and ask, "What's the cheapest option?" this is what they will give you.
Okay, cheapest means slow. That makes sense.
Tier 2 is priority mail. This is the workhorse of the post office. It's the normal way you mentioned. It usually takes 2 to 3 business days to get anywhere in the country. It costs more than ground, but is very reliable. If you say it needs to be there by Tuesday and it's a Friday, the clerk will likely recommend priority.
Priority. That's the word I need. Okay. And the third tier must be for emergencies.
Exactly. Tier 3 is express or overnight mail. This is the fastest and most expensive option, guaranteeing delivery by the next business day. Now, you mentioned peace of mind, and that brings us to the tracking number. This is your lifeline. It's the unique barcode scanned at every step of the journey, and almost every service, even the cheapest ground option, includes it now.
That clears up so much. But what if what I'm sending is important? Like, really important. Not just a birthday gift, but something I absolutely cannot afford to get lost.
A fantastic question, which leads us to segment 3, insurance and certification. These are special services for when your parcel has either high monetary value or high legal importance. They sound similar, but they do very different jobs.
Okay, I'm listening. I once had to mail a check and I just put an extra stamp on it, hoping that would help.
A noble but ineffective gesture. Let's talk about certified mail first. This service has nothing to do with the value of the item. It's all about proof. Proof of mailing and proof of delivery. When you send something certified, you get a receipt when you mail it, and when it's delivered, the recipient has to sign for it. You can even get a copy of their signature sent back to you.
So that's for things like legal documents or tax forms, where you need to prove they got it.
Precisely. Now let's talk about value. That's where insured mail comes in. If you are mailing something with a high monetary value, a piece of jewelry, a laptop, an expensive collectible, you want to insure it. You declare the value of the item and pay a fee. If the package is lost or damaged in transit, the post office will compensate you for that declared value.
Okay, so certified is for proof, insured is for money. That's a really clear distinction. Can you do both?
You absolutely can. You can send a package via priority mail with insurance for $500 and also require certified mail with a return receipt. It all depends on your specific needs. The key is knowing what to ask for.
Knowing what to ask for is the whole game, isn't it?
It is. And that brings us to our final segment, segment 4, the shadowing lab. You've learned the vocabulary and the concepts. Now it's time to practice the execution. I'm going to model the exact phrases you can use at the counter to sound confident and get what you need fast.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's do this.
I'd like to send this priority mail, please. I'd like to send this priority mail, please.
I'd like to send this priority mail, please.
That's it? It's that simple?
That's it. It's direct, it's clear, and it uses the right vocabulary. The clerk knows exactly what you want. No confusion, no follow-up questions about speed. Now, scenario 2. You've finished your transaction, but you need stamps for letters at home. You say this.
Could I get a book of stamps?
Could I get a book of stamps?
Could I get a book of stamps?
And a book is just that little folded cardboard thing of them, right?
Correct. Usually 20 stamps. If you need a lot, you can ask for a roll of stamps, which is typically 100. But a book of stamps is the standard request. Armed with these phrases and the knowledge from today, you are now more than prepared. You are an expert.
Tony, this has been incredible. I feel like I've just been given a cheat sheet to a game I've been losing for years. From addressing to the speed menu to knowing the difference between certified and insured. I honestly feel ready to go back. No more tape traps for me.
That's the goal, confidence in logistics. Join us next time when we tackle an even bigger challenge, understanding customs forms for international shipping.
Oh boy, I'm going to need to study for that one. Thanks for listening, everyone.